Well, it's that time of year again, Halloween. And as we go around, remembering why it is that we love this holiday so much, just remember, it's always fun to gorge on candy and dress up as our favorite characters from different franchises. And also, watch a good movie every now and then too. So for now, let's talk about one of the best animated films that Marvel made for this occasion, Hulk Where Monsters Dwell. Let's begin. It's Halloween night, specifically the night before Halloween or even Halloween itself. And Doctor Strange is doing everything he can to keep the barrier between our world and the realm of monsters and the dreaming at bay. Of course, during that time, the barrier is very thin. So, with Doctor Strange being an Avenger, he knows there's one person to call on for extra support. That is the strongest Avenger, Hulk. However, there's a small problem. Hulk seems to be falling asleep at random occasions, and he doesn't know what's causing it. And that's when the rest of Doctor Strange's allies come up. Because he realizes that sometimes to fight monsters, he needs monsters. That's where the Howling Commandos come in. For those that don't know much about the Howling Commandos, here's what you need to know about them. Just as I said earlier, they're a team of monsters for the supernatural side of the Marvel Universe. Many monster-type characters have been a part of their roster, but the two big ones that stand out are Werewolf, who is a werewolf that isn't affected by the position of the moon, but is actually affected by Mars. In other words, meaning that he can change whenever he wants, and it's not whether on how full or how, in this case, dark that the moon is during the time of the month or the year. And the second one being Man-Thing. A plant-based being who protects the nexus of reality deep within the Florida Everglades. That's just some of the members of the Howling Commandos that we see that Doctor Strange called upon for help to fight against this invasion of monsters. And it turns out, because of it being Halloween, there's one person in particular that they need to fight against. And it's also the reason why Hulk is having these bizarre sleeping problems. Turns out that the culprit behind all of this is actually a demonic entity from the dream dimension of reality called Nightmare. For those that don't know, Nightmare is like I said, he's a demon from the dream dimension. Basically, every nightmare, like his name implies, night terror or bad thought that happened in your mind, whether you were asleep or awake, it's because of Nightmare, and he revels in it. What he plans on doing is because he's actually using the fear of everyone to then cross over into the waking world. And the reason why Hulk is falling asleep, it's not because it's Bruce Banner having to worry about his own fear. It's Hulk himself. Hulk is still having the same fear that Bruce is going to do everything he can to get rid of him, and Bruce has to remind Hulk that, Hulk, I'm not trying to get rid of you. I've accepted that you are me and I am you. We need each other. We can't live without one another. And we need to stop fighting each other because this is what Nightmare wants. He wants us to be at each other's throats so that way he can get what he wants to come into our world. Thankfully, with the combined forces of Doctor Strange, Hulk, and the Howling Commandos, even when Nightmare was able to come into our world, they were able to send him back because they conquered their fears. And Nightmare can only do so much when the people that he tries to scare overcome their fears. And it goes to show that you might be the Lord of Terror, but what power do you have over us when you're trying to scare us? And even though I'm scared, I'm still gonna fight you. And that's when you know that the Lord of Terror becomes scared himself. And they send him right back to the dream dimension. Actually, I should say, Dr. Bruce Banner sends him back to the dream dimension. Look, I know Halloween is a very important day, like other days of the year. It's one of my personal favorite holidays. So, after you're done trick-or-treating with the little ones, or even just finishing up a costume party with some friends, why don't you pop over to Disney Plus and finish off the night and watch a fantastic film where you see another team of Earth's mightiest heroes fight against those that go bump in the night. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking it and even subscribing to stay up to date with all things Marvel. Until next time, true believers, remember always, Excelsior!